Free. Hello, everybody. We are live in the tribe. Super excited to be with you.
I love live in the tribe.
Me too.
It's like one of my favorite things, Paul.
We're in the Elev8 Tribe. So if you're on Facebook, get on Facebook, type in Elev8 Tribe and join us because it is the cool place to be.
It is. It's all about elevating.
It is. It is. Today, we are going to talk about unlocking your full potential, which is what Cheryl and I are all about. We believe that the biggest gap in life, what we focus on, is the gap between the results you're getting in life right now and your potential. And we really believe that that gap is a big gap. It's like the Grand Canyon. So we want to help you fill that gap and help you live your full potential. And really, you do that through personal growth. So this podcast here today, we're going to talk about strategies for personal growth. How exactly do you do that? How does Cheryl and I do that? You can get all the notes for this podcast and every podcast that we do at elevateyourlife.com. And elevate spelled a little weird. It's got an 8 at the end there. So elevateyourlife.com. And today, Cheryl, is Tuesday, which means it is Elevate Your Mind Day. Super excited about that. And we're going to be talking about growth in all 8 areas of your life.
Yeah. And, personal growth is something that is very special to me, Paul, because I honestly did not know too much about personal growth until I met you and really started learning more about it. But I just thought that you were born how you are. Yep. However you are is how you are. If you're born a leader, you're a leader.
That is.
If you're not born a leader, you're a follower. Like, I really believe that. So I really had no idea of the importance of personal growth. And really what it comes down to, I think, is if you're not, you're never just standing still. Like, a lot of times people just think, oh, I'm not getting any better, but I'm certainly not getting any worse. Well, untrue, right? It's all about continuing to grow, continuing to elevate. And I really do believe that it all starts with personal growth. And as we talk about a lot, Paul, it's super important in your life to give and to be of service. And that's the way you're going to feel, I believe, the most happy, when you're serving others or helping others. And so if you are not at a point in your life where you've learned enough or grown enough, how are you going to be able to give that to others?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's, when you ask about people that are growing and elevating, they think about, well, I want to advance in my career. I want to grow my finances. I want to have a better lifestyle. I want to have better relationships. All that is great. And we absolutely want to elevate all those things, but you cannot, I repeat, you cannot elevate any of those things until you elevate you. You got to grow you first. And once we grow you and get your health and your body right, and we elevate your spirit and we elevate your mind and elevate your state, then you can go out and impact those other 4 areas of life, the other 4 that will give you that life that you really want, living the life you really want. But you gotta focus on elevating you, growing you first.
Yeah. And I love this quote from Jim Rohn, and I just think it puts it all into perspective. And the first time I read it, I was like, what? No, please. But I love it. So let me read it. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. And then don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. And I just don't, okay. So after reading that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so true, right? I mean, it really is true. But how many times are we like, oh my gosh, why is it so hard? If it can just be a little bit easier. But no, it's that personal growth that makes you better. And it's the same way with you having more skills. That comes to personal growth. And then, of course, the wisdom, that all of those things come through personal growth. And I love, though, with the understanding or just becoming aware of what we can wish for instead, and then catch ourselves in these patterns where we're, oh, I wish it was easier, or, oh, I wish that I had less problems, or whatever it is. Then we can start to really get serious about personal growth.
Yeah, we always say that. We were just talking about this earlier today, Cheryl, off camera here, that the biggest problem with people is they think they shouldn't have any.
Any problems?
Yeah. Yeah. It's problems make you grow. You got to relook at problems and challenges from a negative thing to a positive thing, and that without these problems, without the problems in your past, you have to really, one of our core beliefs that we have here at the Elev8 Tribe is that things don't happen to us. They happen for us. And once you wrap your mind around that, your whole life changes.
I don't like it. I don't. I don't. But it's true. It's true. And if you can make that little mind shift and really sit and think about that, because when the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, come on. Now, come on.
You've had a lot of bad things happen in your life in your past. Sure. But we sat and talked about all those things, and you agreed with me that, geez, if I didn't have those things happen, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. And I wouldn't be able to go out and help other women, be as successful as you, as they become. Yeah. Because you've overcome those obstacles and those problems.
Yeah. Agreed. That is so true. But I just think becoming or just thinking about that and making that little switch in your brain, that these things happen for us, not to us. Even in the moment, right? Even in the moment of anger, or even in the moment of, oh my gosh, my state is plummeting, or whatever it is, right? If you can just remember that little thing, it kind of gives you like, oh, that's right. It's happening for me, not to me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It helps.
Absolutely. All right. So how the heck do you do personal growth? How do you grow? So a couple of things. First and foremost, we recommend getting a battle buddy. So I'm a former Marine. In the Marines, we had a system called battle buddies, and Cheryl and I are battle buddies in life. That's what I love about Cheryl, is that if I got a problem, I know I can call her, text her 24/7. Cheryl, I got an issue. She's got an issue. Pick up the phone. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. I'm answering the phone. So you need that one person in your life that you can turn to, that is always watching after you, that's helping you. And in this case, it's helping you grow. We're not necessarily looking for somebody, you got a problem, you get a hold of them and they're going to sing Kumbaya with you and tell you it's going to be okay and all that. You're looking for someone who's going to push you past your limits and help you grow and help you elevate. It's what this is all about.
Yeah. And I love that, Paul, and something that you and I have started doing, which I really find helpful, that I think the battle buddies can do, is we'll each listen to the same bit of, or read the same bit of personal growth that day, and then just be able to discuss it and talk about it and look, your perspective and my perspective are 1,000 times different. And that's what helps each of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way I think you guys should do it with your battle buddy.
Yeah. And this isn't just for personal growth. You can use this battle buddy for all areas of your life. Sure. And here in the tribe, we have thousands of people. So we'll actually put up a post and start kind of making matchmaker. You find someone else in this tribe, or in, someone already, that you can become battle buddies with. And this is going to be a pact that you make between the two of you. And like Cheryl said, we pick a book that we're both going to read now, or a video we're both going to watch, or a course we're both going to take. And it's the communication between the two of us that's the magical part. Yeah. And, she reads things and I'm like, how did you get that from, and I love the man-woman thing, because there's so many things as a man I can't wrap my mind around. And Cheryl's like, I don't understand men. So it's great. I think it works really well. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be 2 guys, 2 women, whatever combination you want to do. And it doesn't have to be just 2. It can be 3 or 4, but you want to at least have 2. And I think 2 works really well, because you can just really gel together and go back and forth on things. The other thing that we really recommend doing is starting a personal growth journal. This is, I think, next to so I have a couple journals that I have. I have a personal growth journal that I wrote just about growing. When I'm reading a book, I'm taking notes, and it's I've done it since I was 10 years old. I went back and I found, actually just this weekend when we're doing this podcast, I went back and I have notes from listening to Tony Robbins' Personal Power. And my mom bought that in 1983 and I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have personal growth notes from 10.
Yeah.
I'm 20 now. So I got 10 years of personal growth, a little over 20. But
Yeah.
I have a lot of years of personal growth now, and looking back at all those notes is priceless. I mean, I can see how much I grew.
It is, but now if you don't have that, I don't have that. I was milking the cows, Paul. I was not writing in anything when I was 10. Okay, so but the thing is start today, right? It's fine. You can start today because the difference you'll be able to see in yourself, you can't see it when you're in the middle of it. You don't know. I feel the same as I did, 3 years ago. I don't feel any different, right? I feel like I could probably handle things better or whatever. But the point is, with this growth journal, with this personal growth journal, you'll be able to look back and just be like, oh my gosh, right? I've grown so much. I can't believe the difference in myself from there to here.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but I also keep a personal journal.
Yep.
My own personal thoughts that I write in every day. And it's great to read that as well, because you can see how much I've evolved on the personal side because of the personal growth journal. So I really recommend both. And it will be, so yeah, write it down. Taking notes just will solidify everything you learn. So let's talk about the actual strategy now for where you can go and get personal growth from, because people think that it's super expensive. And yes, Cheryl and I spend a lot of money on going to different events and traveling and doing that. And that's great. I mean, I'm still going to recommend Tony Robbins events. I still teach at them, Joe Dispensa events, and anything out there that if you see one of these people we talk about and they're doing something live, of course, we recommend going to it and spending money on it. But it doesn't need to cost you anything, because YouTube is really, it gets a bad rap for different things and different things on there. But you can turn it into a personal growth, library for yourself.
I didn't even know that there was bad things on YouTube, because I've only ever used it for the personal growth stuff, like Tony Robbins, Joe Dispensa, like they have tons of stuff on there. And so I didn't even know. I swear to you.
Well, I mean, you get the cat videos, the dog videos, like a lot of distracting things on there that you can spend hours of time,
No, I've never seen that, Paul.
I know you haven't, because all you do is personal growth, Cheryl.
It's true. On there I do. I swear to you. And I love it. And like Paul said, it's free. You can just go on there and you can get as much. And I love, what else I love on there? This is kind of a side note, but I don't care because it has everything to do with personal growth. But it's got fantastic meditations and stuff on there too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, my whole Facebook feed and Instagram, that people say, oh, that's the biggest waste of time being on Facebook and Instagram, but not in my account. It's not, because every single person I follow is personal growth. It's the best personal growth people in the world. And if there's somebody on there in my feed that isn't personal growth, I block them.
Right.
So, mine is literally like, going to school. I mean, other people are like, oh, I have all the fun stuff in mine, but you got to delete all the fun stuff and just make this.
You can have one or two fun things. Oh my gosh.
No fun, Cheryl.
Okay.
Just joking. All right. YouTube, Cheryl, what would be the best thing to watch on all of YouTube? I mean, there's billions of videos on YouTube. What would be the number one place to go to find some videos on YouTube?
Well, I think a great place would be Elevate Your Life.
Elevate Your Life. So we have our own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you can go to elevateyourlife.com, click on YouTube at the very top. Boom. Hundreds and hundreds of videos to watch, all of the best personal growth you will ever see in your entire life.
Yeah, those are really good ones. And they're fun. And I think one of the biggest things too, Paul, is there's just so much to learn right there, right? About personal growth and about
and we cover all areas of life. It's a real cool thing. So we're not biased.
Yeah. Elevate in every area. Now, of course, Paul, your favorite, or one of your favorites, Tony Robbins.
Yeah, you can type in Tony Robbins. If you run out of videos on Elevate Your Life, which would be very difficult, you can type in Tony Robbins, and that would take you the next 4 or 5 lifetimes to get through. Yeah, because he has got a thought or two on there.
On everything, in fact.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Dr. Joe Dispensa, he talks about meditation and about the importance of that. We all know that.
Manifesting.
Yeah, manifesting.
Mental rehearsal, all that.
Yep. Jim Rohn, he is, you can't beat him.
No.
You can't beat him.
That's, everybody learned from him.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, he was like the father of the whole starting the movement, I think.
Napoleon Hill would be where he got his information from. But
He's fantastic.
You know, I mean, you got to read. We're going to talk about books, and that is obviously a top book to read. But he's like, he can be a little difficult to understand. But Jim Rohn is just like that's the father. I mean, that's
yeah. And then John Maxwell, who you are also a leadership coach.
Yeah, he's the guy. I mean, so we were just talking about it's not just leadership in business, but being a parent is being a leader. Being a spouse is being a leader. You know, you need these leadership skills. I don't care, you know, what you do in life.
Yeah.
These are skills that every human being needs. So he's got hundreds and hundreds of hours, thousands of hours, videos on there too. Awesome.
Yeah. And then Joel.
Joel's my man. Like I really, you know, I make it a point to turn him on. I got Sirius in my car, listen to him. It's just uplifting, spiritual, Bible-based, great information.
Yeah. And then, of course, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Now, if he's not a manifestation guru, I don't know who is.
You can spend the rest of your life just studying him and get fire in life. I love that butterfly story that we got to post that story in the tribe so everybody can watch that. Because
it is so good. It really is. It really is.
But there's my new best friend in life.
Yeah.
My new boy.
Yeah.
James Clear.
Yeah.
I would, at this moment, I'm going to say he's the smartest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
He wrote Atomic Habits. And if there's one person you're going to follow on Instagram, it's James Clear. I mean, this guy has got the best post out there. He just sits in some cave and thinks. And he comes up with the best stuff. I mean, he's the guy to follow.
Yeah. Ed Mylett. I love One More.
He's my boy. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with One More. I love that. And I love it because it's in every area of life, right? At first, when I very first saw it and I saw Ed Mylett, One More, or The Power of One More, and then I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to talk about weightlifting.
Yeah. One more rep.
Yeah.
Which he does talk about.
He does, but it's not only that. And it's really
one more in everything in life, which is the Elevate theme, really. So
that's exactly right.
He basically wrote the book for us.
Yeah, he did. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
But what I love about Ed a lot is that he's the one guy that interviews other interesting people.
Right.
So it's not like everyone else, you just listen to them. But Ed's podcast and YouTube channel, he's interviewing someone else all the time. And he picks the best people to interview. Like it's really like he interviewed all those people we just talked about and many, many more. So I just get so much every time I listen to Ed's podcast or YouTube video.
Yeah. Then the Brendon
Burchard.
Brendon Burchard.
Awesome. It's called the Brendon Show. So you get that on, just type in the Brendon Show on YouTube or go to your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, and type that in. And then there's the man, the legend.
The you little motivation. You can't hurt me.
You can't hurt me. And David Goggins is the motivational guru. I love listening to him. It's a good pickup at 5 a.m. boy.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then if he doesn't move you for some odd reason, there's your favorite guy, like Jocko.
I like Jocko. Jocko's cool.
That dude is hardcore, boy.
Wow. Yeah. Those two together. Can you imagine having them move in?
Oh,
it would not be a problem with procrastination.
No, there would not. You would have no procrastination problems.
Wow.
So yeah, you can look up all those people we just said. I think just about all of them have their own podcast. But if you type their name in, you'll see a whole bunch of information. James Clear does not have a podcast, but he's been interviewed like 7,000 times. So, and every time he does one, you get so much information out of it. So type all those names into your favorite podcast. If you're driving around, that's really what I did in life is I know, Shell, you do this too, because you drive. I tell Shell, just become an Uber driver. Because you drive so much every single day with
hey, I wish I could make some money while I'm doing it.
Yeah. So Cheryl's always listening to all this stuff while she drives. You can get an Audible membership. You can listen to books that way. That's what Cheryl and I do. The Kindle's great. But these podcasts are free. These YouTube channels are free. And it's just unbelievably awesome information. You can become anybody you want to become by just listening to the people we just mentioned. And then there's books, Cheryl. We're going to close out this podcast by talking about the top 10 books. And we could have talked about the top 100. We'll add more to this list. So, but this is off the top of our head.
Yeah.
the 10 that we love the most. So what's the list, Cheryl?
Well, it's the Bible. That's where we start.
Gotta put that at 1.
You do, because, well, I don't even need to say why.
Yeah.
We all know the Bible is the Bible, and it gets you in that right state of mind. Number 2 is Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And we love that because I don't think there's ever been a book on health and wellness anywhere out there that can help you, change the state of your physical health more than Dead Doctors Don't Lie. There just isn't.
Yeah. We built the entire Institute of Holistic Health around one book.
Yeah.
And we obviously added a lot to it, but that is the foundation to the whole thing, is that one book. And, the title says it all. Like, too many people are still going out to their doctor for advice, and they put doctors on some pedestal. And I'm here to tell you that doctors don't know anything. Doctors,
they're practicing.
They die. What would you take? I just asked Joe, would you take financial advice from someone who was broke? Doctors have a lower, by 8 or 9 years, a lower life expectancy than the average couch potato. So why are we taking advice from people who don't even live as long as we do?
Yeah, not when it comes to health and wellness. Absolutely not. Not when it comes to physical health and wellness. If you break your leg, or if you do, something like that.
I get shot, I'm going to go see a doctor. Yes.
That's absolutely right.
But anything else, I'm not going.
No, I completely agree. Okay, number 3, Think and Grow Rich. We just talked a little bit about that.
Wow. If that ain't top 3, nothing is.
It's yeah. I can honestly say that really
it is considered the number 1 business book of all time by far.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Awaken the Giant Within.
It's Tony's best book. Yeah.
Yep. Atomic Habits. You mentioned that from James Clear.
Can't get better than that.
21 Laws of Leadership.
Yeah, that's John's number 1 book by far. Cheryl and I live these laws daily. This is our, our law book for sure. And John's also written 99 other books that are all number 1 sellers that you should read, because
oh my gosh, they're so good.
It's hard to find a human that writes a book that every word is gold, but John has somehow accomplished that. So
I'll tell you, he just has a way of making it all make sense.
Yeah, he makes the complicating simple.
Yeah, and then so number 7 is I think 3 books. Is that 3 books? So 3 books by Tony Robbins.
Yep.
Money, Unshakable, and the Holy Grail of Investing. Now, it's fascinating to me that Tony now is the number 1 investment person.
Yeah, if you finances. So we talk about the elevate your life. There's 8 areas of life. 1 is finances.
Yeah.
He has become the number 1 financial guru in the world.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
You look at him as like a personal growth or a transformation coach. But he is now, all he did is follow his own advice. He interviewed the top 100 financial advisors in the world or investors in the world and writes a book about it. So when you talk to all these people, you look for a common denominator. What are all these top 100 people doing? And then condenses it into 1 book. And it just becomes, when he says the Holy Grail of investing, this is it. If you're ever going to do any investing in life, which you should be doing, this is the first and last book you need to read. It's as simple as that.
That's awesome. Okay, just a couple more. The Power of One More. That was by Mylett. Yeah, and then The Obstacle is the Way, which I love that. When I very first saw the title, I was like, okay, no, keep going, keep going. But it's true. The obstacle is the way, because the growth that comes from those obstacles. I loved it. I love that book. That was a fantastic book.
Yeah.
And then Paul, I know one of your very favorites says it's all figure-outable.
Yep. I love the story she tells in that. She's talking to her mom and just like, how did you become so awesome, Mom? And she's just like, well, I have this philosophy that everything's figure-outable. And it actually become one of my top 3 core beliefs inside of me, that it's all figure-outable. We can figure it out. Whatever it is, let's not make a molehill out of this mountain, or not make a mountain out of this molehill, because it's all figure-outable. And I just love saying that. And it gives me so much certainty in life, because it's true. I mean, anything in life that exists, someone figured it out how to get that.
Yeah.
So it is all figure-outable. And I've come to the conclusion in my brain that is 100% true. And It just gives me a whole new outlook on life. In every single moment of my life, I'm not worried anymore. I'm not living in fear, because first of all, I'm absolutely certain that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And second of all, if that somehow fails, which it would never, but if it does, I also know it's all figure outable. So I got some backup going on with my belief system. That's what makes me 1,000% certain and makes me super successful. It's because I have this level of certainty that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and it is all figure outable.
Well, and
So
I
those
think
two
it's
things
funny,
together,
Paul,
maybe
they're the exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all figure outable because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. I mean, that's it. That's just the way it is, right?
So great book to read. Or buy it for your daughter or son. It's just like the book. I think everybody should read that book.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well that's your guide. That's your strategies for personal growth here. Get the Battle Buddy. Get the personal growth journal. Whether you want to make it digital, I have everything. I use Evernote. I use Notion. All these notes that we make for you are all in Notion. There's so many different places now. There really is no bad idea as far as this is, or you can use just notes from Apple or whatever app you like writing notes in. Pick one, stick with it, keep it simple, and then just go to YouTube and type in these different things we have here in the notes, and commit to it. Do 30 minutes a day. Like we do an hour a day. I feel like if you got 300 hours in a year, just think of the different person you'd be in 1 year. So it's just the consistency behind it and saying that I'm committed to elevating my life. And I understand that if I want my life to be better, I got to become better first.
Yeah.
And once you get that philosophy, the sky's the limit.
And let us know if you find something fantastic. Let us know, because we want to know. We will pick it up and we will do it, and we will, talk about it too with you.
Yeah. Any YouTube channel or any podcast you like, or any YouTube video, any book. Yeah. That you like, hey, that should be on the list. Put it down in the comments below. We love to read it, and everyone else here in the tribe will read it. We'll all grow together.
That's it.
All right, everybody.